The entire WNBA should be rallying behind its biggest star, promoting her achievements, and using her as the face of the league's growth. If they continue to ignore the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, they could be missing out on a golden opportunity to grow the sport on a global scale. With Caitlin Clark leading the charge and Amber Cox in the driver's seat, the Indiana Fever are setting themselves up for a dramatic transformation.
There's clearly there's something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. And our backcourt, I think, is probably going to be one of the best in the league between her and Kelsey. It's a dynamic duo right there.
But Krauskopf wasn't done there. She sent a warning to the rest of the league. Krauskopf hinted that Indiana is looking for players who can run the floor with Clark's fast-paced style, defend at a high level, and bring a winning mentality to the franchise. If the Fever can land a couple of key free agents, they could go from playoff hopefuls to legitimate title contenders. But here's the kicker. This offseason could define not only the future of the Fever, but the trajectory of Caitlin Clark's entire career. The WNBA itself seems to have no idea how to handle Clark's meteoric rise. Despite Clark's jaw-dropping rookie season, which saw her lead the league in points and assists, the WNBA has been suspiciously quiet. No major ad campaigns, no big promotions, no effort to capitalize on the Caitlin Clark effect that's been driving attendance and viewership through the roof. Caitlin Clark's rookie season was historic, but it's clear that Indiana is ready to take things to the next level. In a press conference, Fever president Kelly Krauskopf laid it all on the table.
And look, Amber and I, we're both, as general managers, she's going to be doing a lot of the day-to-day groundwork. For me, we're both going to be talking to agents. We're both going to be talking to the team. We'll be making those basketball decisions together. Looking forward to working with her. She's been a part of really building a lot of different teams. So she brings in varied experiences, knows a lot of people around the league, a lot of agents.
The team needs to add size, experience, and leadership around Clark to make a serious run at the title. Krauskopf didn't hold back when talking about how critical Clark is to the franchise's future, saying, "Caitlin Clark is a generational player." Yet the WNBA seems hesitant to embrace her star power, and that's a huge missed opportunity, not just for the league, but for women's sports as a whole. This is where Amber Cox could change the game. Not only does she have the experience to build a championship-caliber team, but she also knows how to market and promote players. Under Cox's leadership, the Fever could take control of the narrative and turn Clark into the household name she deserves to be. If the WNBA won't do it, the Fever will. But let's not forget, the Fever aren't the only ones who need to capitalize on Clark's rise. The entire WNBA should be rallying behind its biggest star, promoting her achievements, and using her as the face of the league's growth. Let's address the elephant in the room. The WNBA is completely fumbling the bag when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Despite her record-breaking rookie season, the league has been slow to promote her as the next big star. Where are the commercials? Where are the billboards? Where is the full-court press to turn Clark into the face of women's basketball? It's baffling, especially when you consider the numbers. Clark's games have set attendance records, her jersey is flying off the shelves, and she's pulling in viewers like no other player in the league. Yet the WNBA seems hesitant to embrace her star power, and that's a huge missed opportunity, not just for the league, but for women's sports as a whole. Krauskopf didn't hold back when talking about how critical Clark is to the franchise's future, saying, "Caitlin Clark is a generational player. Now it's up to us to build the right team around her."
Yeah, I think that, we've seen that such a huge inflection of attention, and her play, just the way she plays the game, I think that's going to be sustainable.
With the addition of Cox, the Fever are poised to be extremely aggressive in free agency, and they're not afraid to make bold moves. "We need the right pieces around Caitlin, and we're going to find them," Krauskopf said. In a move that has shocked the WNBA, the Indiana Fever have appointed Amber Cox as their new Chief Operations Officer and General Manager. Cox isn't just any executive. She's a proven leader with a track record of turning struggling franchises into powerhouse organizations. Now she's tasked with guiding the Fever into what could be their most pivotal era yet, all while navigating the intense pressure to build a championship-caliber team around Caitlin Clark. This offseason is critical, and all eyes will be on Indiana to see which moves they make. Will they land the veteran talent they need to compete with the league's top teams? Can Cox and Krauskopf build a team around Clark that can dominate for years to come? The pieces are there. Clark is a generational talent, Kelsey Mitchell provides veteran leadership, and Aaliyah Boston adds size and strength in the front court. If Cox can bring in the right players, the Fever could be on the verge of something special. But the pressure is on. This isn't just about winning a few more games. This is about building a dynasty and cementing Clark's legacy as one of the greatest players in WNBA history. The Indiana Fever have just made their boldest move yet, and the future of Caitlin Clark's career could depend on what happens next. Will they land the veteran talent they need to compete with the league's top teams? Can Cox and Krauskopf build a team around Clark that can dominate for years to come? This is about building a dynasty and cementing Clark's legacy as one of the greatest players in WNBA history. Will Amber Cox's leadership turn the Fever into title contenders? Or will the WNBA's continued mishandling of its brightest star derail Clark's potential? One thing's for sure, the 2025 season could change everything. Stay tuned because the Fever are about to make some serious noise, and Caitlin Clark's journey is just getting started. The Indiana Fever just pulled off a massive front office shakeup, and Caitlin Clark's future is hanging in the balance. Amber Cox, a seasoned WNBA executive, is stepping in as the new Chief Operations Officer and General Manager, and fans are going insane over what this means for Clark and the Fever's rise. Could this be the move that finally turns the Fever into title contenders? Or is there more going on behind the scenes as the WNBA continues to mishandle its brightest star? Get ready because what's happening in Indiana could change the entire WNBA landscape.
And I'm looking forward to that challenge because, you know, you're looking for the right types of players that can play that style of basketball around her. And it's uncanny how similar they both are.
The message was clear. Indiana is tired of being an afterthought, and they're ready to become a WNBA powerhouse. Amber Cox's appointment is more than just a front office hire. It's a statement. The Fever are building their future around Caitlin Clark, and they're bringing in the right leadership to make it happen. With Cox's history of aggressive roster building, you can bet that the Fever will be major players in this offseason's free agent market. Krauskopf has made it clear that Clark is the type of player who makes everyone around her better. And that's a huge selling point for any top-tier talent looking for a fresh start. Veteran leadership is a top priority for the Fever, but they're also in the market for size and experience to help them compete with teams like the Aces and Liberty, who boast stacked rosters.